There is something most people never realize until it is too late. It is not a major illness that shortens your life. It is the small habits, the things you do or overlook every single day that slowly accumulate over years, and at some point, your body starts sending signals. You feel more tired, you ache more often, your memory is not as sharp as it used to be. But here is what is worth paying attention to. Researchers at Harvard University, after decades of tracking thousands of older adults, found that the people who stayed healthy and lived longer were not necessarily the ones with great genetics or the money for premium medical care. They were the people who maintained a specific set of habits, very simple ones, every single day. Not extreme diets, not packed gym schedules, just ordinary things, done right and done consistently. Today, I am going to walk through 10 habits that the healthiest older adults in America are actually practicing. And by the time you finish this video, you will know exactly what you have been missing and where to realistically start. Pay close attention to habit number 4 and habit number 7, because those are the two that most people think do not matter much, but they actually have the strongest impact on heart health and brain function after 60. Habit number 1, drink enough water every day, but do it the right way. This first one sounds too familiar. Drink water. Everyone knows that. But here is the real problem that many older adults are dealing with without realizing it. After the age of 60, your sense of thirst becomes significantly less sensitive. That means your body could be running low on fluids, but you do not feel thirsty. You think you are fine, but you are not. When the body is chronically dehydrated, even at a mild level, blood pressure becomes harder to control, joint pain increases, and most importantly, the kidneys have to work harder to filter the blood. According to the National Institutes of Health, adults over 65 are the group with the highest rates of dehydration, and it is one of the most common reasons older adults end up in the hospital, which most people never think about. So how much do you need? Around 6 to 8 ounces per serving, with a total daily goal of about 64 ounces, which is roughly 8 small glasses. More importantly, do not wait until you feel thirsty. Drink at set times, first thing in the morning when you wake up, before each meal, and once in the afternoon. Plain water is still the best option. If you find it hard to drink that much plain water, low-sodium broth or vegetable soup can also help make up the difference. And here is something most people never connect to the habit coming up next. Habit number 2, walk for at least 20 minutes every day. Not running, not the gym, just walking. But your brain takes this far more seriously than you might think. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed over 16,000 older women and found that those who walked around 4,400 steps per day had a significantly lower mortality rate compared to the group that only walked around 2,700 steps. Not a marathon, not the popular 10,000 step goal, just consistent daily walking already made a measurable difference. For people over 55, walking is not just good for the heart. It helps maintain bone density, keeps the knee and hip joints mobile, and most importantly, it stimulates blood flow to the brain. People who walk regularly have a significantly lower risk of developing dementia, according to data from multiple long-term studies in the United States and Europe. You do not need to walk all at once. You can split it into 2 sessions, 10 minutes each, and it still counts. After breakfast in the morning is a great time because it helps stabilize blood sugar after eating. The most important thing is still consistency, not intensity. But movement alone is not enough, and habit number 3 will explain exactly why. Habit number 3, eat breakfast with protein within the first 30 minutes after waking up. A lot of older adults have a morning routine of coffee and skipping breakfast, or eating white toast or thin porridge that has almost no protein at all. This seems harmless, but it actually sets off a chain of consequences that carries through the entire day. After 60, your body starts losing its ability to build and hold on to muscle mass. This process is called sarcopenia. Losing muscle does not just make you weaker or more likely to fall. It directly affects your metabolic rate, your ability to control blood sugar, and even your immune response. And breakfast protein is the first signal your body receives each day to protect and maintain that muscle. You do not need to eat a large amount. Around 20 to 30 grams of protein in the morning is enough. Eggs, Greek yogurt, a bit of cottage cheese, or light salmon are all solid options. If you are not used to eating a heavy breakfast, start with 2 hard-boiled eggs and a glass of unsweetened milk. That alone is already enough to make a real difference. And here is something most people completely miss. Habit number 4, coming up next, may be the single thing affecting your brain more than anything else on this list. Habit number 4, get enough sleep and keep a consistent schedule. This is the habit that many older adults dismiss because they have convinced themselves that sleeping less is just a normal part of getting older. But that is not the truth. This is actually one of the most dangerous misconceptions about senior health. Sleep is not simply rest time for the body. It is when the brain performs its cleanup process, clearing out toxins that built up during the day, including amyloid beta protein, one of the factors associated with Alzheimer's disease. When you do not sleep enough, that process gets disrupted. According to a large study published in the journal Nature Communications, people who consistently slept fewer than 6 hours a night over many years had a significantly higher risk of developing dementia compared to those who slept 7 to 8 hours. The issue is not just the number of hours, but the consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, including weekends, helps your internal clock run more smoothly. Avoid screens, phone, or television for at least 30 minutes before bed. Keep your bedroom dark and cool. The ideal temperature is around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. These things sound simple, but their long-term impact on brain health is very real. Habit number 5, stay socially connected. This is something people rarely think about when the topic is physical health. But loneliness, especially after retirement or when the kids have left home, affects your health in ways that are far more serious than most people realize. Harvard's long-term study on aging, which ran for over 80 years, showed that the quality of your social relationships is one of the strongest predictors of both physical and mental health in old age. Even more important than cholesterol levels or blood pressure, people who are socially isolated show notably higher rates of memory decline and cardiovascular disease. You do not need to be an extrovert. You just need to maintain at least 1 or 2 real connections each week. A long phone call with family, coffee with a friend, joining a community group or local club. What matters is the frequency and quality of those connections, not how many people you know. Habit number 6, manage stress through one specific daily habit. Stress is not just an uncomfortable feeling in your head. When you stay in a prolonged state of stress, your body keeps releasing cortisol, a hormone that at high levels damages blood vessel walls, weakens the immune system, and makes sleep worse. This is a cycle that many older adults are stuck in without ever recognizing it. The good news is that you do not need complex meditation or yoga to break that cycle. Just one simple action done consistently every day can help your nervous system come back down. For some people, that is reading for 20 minutes in the evening. For others, it is gardening, sitting on the porch listening to birds, or simply sitting still for 10 minutes without looking at a phone. What matters is not what you do, but that you do it regularly and with intention. If you find it very hard to sit still, try starting with slow breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds, and repeat 5 times. This technique requires no equipment or special space, but its effect on the parasympathetic nervous system is real and scientifically supported. Habit number 7, get regular checkups and do not ignore small signs. This may be the most important habit on this list, and also the one that gets overlooked the most. A lot of older adults have the mindset of, if I feel fine, I am fine. But here is the real problem. Many of the most dangerous conditions, high blood pressure, early stage type 2 diabetes, even early stage cancer, often show no clear symptoms for a long time. By the time you feel something is off, the condition has already progressed far enough to make treatment much harder. At least once a year, get a general checkup. Have your blood pressure measured, run basic blood work, check bone density if you are a woman past menopause, and get screened for colon cancer if you are past 45. These tests do not take a lot of time or money, but they can make the difference between catching something early and dealing with it too late. And when you notice small signs, unusual fatigue, persistent aches, changes in digestion or sleep, call your doctor. Do not wait. Habit number 8, train your balance and leg strength. This is something most older adults never think about until after their first fall. And for people over 65, one fall can lead to a broken hip, which then pulls in a chain of serious health complications. According to the CDC, falls are the leading cause of injury-related death among older adults in the United States. Leg strength and balance are not things you lose purely because of age. You lose them because you stop using them. The good news is you can get most of that back through simple exercises at home, no equipment needed. Try standing on one leg for 10 seconds each day, then switching. Start by holding on to the back of a chair if you need to. Sitting down and standing up from a chair without using your hands is also one of the most effective exercises for building strength in the thighs and hips. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day, done consistently, the results will be noticeable within a few weeks. Habit number 9, limit refined sugar and processed foods. You do not need to cut out everything you enjoy, but you do need to understand what is quietly doing the most damage to your body after 55. Refined sugar and processed foods promote a state of chronic inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation does not hurt the way acute joint pain does, but it is connected to nearly every common chronic disease in older adults. Cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, memory decline, and even certain types of cancer. The reality is simpler than most people think. Pay attention to what you eat most often. White bread, sugar and sodas, and packaged fruit juice, high-sodium canned foods, packaged snack foods. You do not need to cut everything at once. Replace one thing at a time, swap white bread for whole grain, swap soda for unsweetened sparkling water or plain tea. These small changes, sustained over several months, add up to results you can actually feel. Habit number 10, keep learning something new. And this is the final habit, and also the one I see many older adults quietly let go of after they retire. The brain needs to be challenged to stay healthy, just like muscles need to be used to avoid atrophy. When you stop learning new things, when life becomes too familiar and there are no more challenges, the brain starts producing fewer new neural connections, and over time, that shrinkage becomes noticeable. You do not need to learn anything grand. Try cooking one new recipe a month. Learn to play a simple song on the piano or the ukulele. Pick up a few words of a new language for just 10 minutes a day through a phone app. Join a local class on history, painting, or pottery. What matters is not how good you become at it, but that you are making your brain process information in a new way. That is exactly what keeps your memory and mental clarity going for longer. A final word. If you have watched this far and feel like there are a few things on this list you have not been doing, that is completely normal. Nobody does all 10 of these perfectly every single day. What I want you to take away from this video is not a long checklist. It is one simple principle. Your health at 60, 65, 70 is not built by one big decision. It is built by small choices, repeated consistently for long enough to become habits. You do not need to change everything tomorrow. Pick one habit from this list, the one that feels easiest to start, and practice it for the next 2 weeks. Once it feels natural, add one more. That is how the people who live long and stay healthy actually do it. Not through extraordinary willpower or unusual routines, but through patience with simple things. You still have time to make real change, and it starts today.